coming through when the growth look good on you. Best believe they wanna screw now. I've been trying to climb, devil threw me in the dark. Baby, don't be insecure, you can still go make a mark like blow. Could never let them drain my soul now. Blow. Table turning like doorknobs, wow. Blow. I think I'm about to set sail. I'm a walking, living legend, walking with my chest out. Life keep dealing me cards, I keep fitting in love.
What is going on, peeps? It's G, and we are back in the building. Another match reaction: Liverpool versus Brentford. Liverpool winning their last game before the international break, 3-0 at Anfield against Thomas Frank's side. Tricky game. Just before we obviously get into it, I'm not going to make this too long. But yeah, tricky game. Brentford are always going to be a tough opposition. The way that Thomas Frank's teams always try to set up, especially against the big sides, they make it difficult for you, man. They make it difficult for you. You know, Mo Salah, you know, getting his 200th, scored 2 goals obviously today, with Diogo Jota getting the other one. But you know, Mo Salah, Diogo Jota, really coming up trumps. And again, really, it was Liverpool's attack that really won the day. You know, that's a theme that we're seeing quite a lot this season. The rest of the team weren't really, in my opinion, up to par, if I'm being that honest with you. They were quite lackluster in moments. As an overall, they were probably okay, but in moments, you know, where key moments, where this is again why you have, you know, the best goalkeeper in the world in Alisson, and having one of, if not the best centre back in the world in Virgil van Dijk, you know, having those kind of players back there, because without them, Jesus Christ, Liverpool really would have struggled, you know, against Brentford this afternoon. But ultimately we got the victory. Needed that 3 points. Had really two really bad and poor performances in the last 2 games to lose, obviously losing in the Europa League, quite embarrassing. And then you've obviously got the Luton game, equally as embarrassing, you know, drawing away to Luton. So the boys really did have to kind of just get everybody to kind of shut up. Do you know what I mean? Hopefully this doesn't mean that everyone thinks that Liverpool are now back up to a title challenge. I know as at the time of this video, Liverpool are second in the Premier League, ahead of Arsenal on goal difference. I have a feeling this is going to start changing narratives again, as I said in the last in my last video, how everybody always chops and changes after each match week. It's, oh, yo, we gotta, you know, 1 minute we're the greatest, we're the best, we're the this, you know, and all that kind of stuff. And then the next game, it's, oh no, we're so poor because we lost to Toulouse, or we drew to Luton, and, you know, all of that kind of stuff. Excuse me, I'm feeling a bit ill. So yeah, I just hope it's not that again. I just hope it's not going to be another, oh no, we're title challengers now and blah blah blah. Forget all of that stuff. Let's wait until December. Once we get to the, you know, that December kind of period, then we can really start talking about whatever it is you guys kind of want to, you know, bang on about: titles, Europa Leagues, cups, and what have you. But right now we're still in the early development stages of the season, you know, in general. You know, it's so early, you really don't know. You know, 1 minute Tottenham were top of the table, now Tottenham look like they're kind of tumbling a little bit. All of a sudden they've gone from kind of top to bottom in that kind of respect, you know, in terms of how people see them this season. You know, Chelsea, you know, looked awful, you know, beginning of the kind of season, still finding their feet, found a little bit of form, and, you know, they're starting to shoot up the table, you know, so it all chops and changes. So I think that's where we just got to kind of be sensible, not get too overreactionary, you know, with a loss or a win and stuff like that. We stay level-headed, we stay humble, and then, you know, we will be where we will be. You know, we'll be wherever we deserve to be, you know, come the end of the season. But in regards to today's game, yeah, really, I'm just kind of like spitballing, if I'm being honest. I didn't, you're not so crazy. Recently, one thing I've tried not to do, unless I'm really looking at things in depth and stuff like that, and, you know, talking about specifics, like, I try not to look at stats too much, in terms of, you know, I don't know, jewels or progressive passes or key passes. I don't really care, really and truly, if I'm being honest. I actually don't care about none of that stuff. Again, that's only if I'm just looking at things as a base overview, like this kind of match reaction is. But when I'm looking at games and stuff like that, I don't really want to focus too much on that, because I feel like as a society we're focusing so heavily on that. We're focusing too much on the intricacies and the specifics. Oh my goodness, this player didn't win however many duels. So I haven't looked at any statistics. So again, people in the once you guys obviously watch this, when this comes out, people let me know. You know what I mean? I might, you know, you might have seen something and said, nah, but gee, yo, like such and such, I don't know, didn't make that many passes, or this guy would, I don't know, didn't make that many runs, or, you know, didn't make that many key passes. I have no idea. I didn't want to look at none of that, because I said, let's just focus on the game. What did your eyes see with the game? You know, and only then will the stats be able to back up whatever it is that your eyes were able to see, you know, from the beginning. So yeah, for me, couple points I probably say I picked out from the game. If I start from the back to front, Ali's a bit of a tricky one. No, not a tricky one, because he made some really, really good saves. He got himself a clean sheet as well. So, you know, you can't really. I'm not going to give out marks or scores or anything like that, but I felt like he was kind of calm this game. I felt like he was calm. Did what he needed to do, to be honest with you. The saves, some of the saves that he makes, yeah, like, they're just, he makes them look so simple, but I don't know, because I'm not a goalkeeper and never have been, but when you look at them sometimes you're just like, Jesus Christ, man, you do really make them look so easy. But yeah, I felt like he was calm, wasn't really helped with the defense. That was one thing I felt, you know, in the game, but you know, not even so much as the defense as a whole. It was more the team. I don't want to pin it all on the defense, because I feel like that's too easy and too lazy. But as a team, I did think that like this kind of performance, if I was to give the mark, I'd probably give like a 7 out of 10. It was that type of a performance where obviously it was above average. You win 3-0, so of course, you know, you got the job done, you know, in that kind of sense. But you know, we were quite open at times in the game. Brentford, it was so easy at times for them to just cut through Liverpool. They didn't even try. They didn't. In the times that they did cut through, they didn't even have to try. It wasn't like, you know, couple 6, 7, 8 passes, boom, and then they're in. You're like, oh my goodness, that's fantastic play. That's different. You know what I mean? Because that's been worked upon, and you know, you can't really help that. But this was just ball over the top. Yeah, cool. We got space. Mbeumo put through. Wissa put through. Better touches, better finishes. Again, we get lucky in that kind of regards. Obviously, again, having Alisson there, that's where that obviously helps. He's a world-class goalkeeper. So I can't say I expect you to save it, because I expected Mbeumo to score the chance that Ali did save, but ultimately, you know, Ali was there to kind of do his job. But again, another worrying sign. But you know, hey, we won 3-0, so nobody's gonna remember those kind of things, and maybe rightly so. They probably shouldn't. In that kind of sense, I think Virgil was good today as well. Matip, I didn't really feel his performance, if I'm being totally honest. Thought he was good in parts, did bring the ball out or tried to kind of start and initiate attacks and stuff like that, but I did think that with Mbeumo and Wissa, you know, both there, I don't know, they almost kind of tried to pick on him a little bit, and I don't know, I didn't feel that he won that battle in any way, shape, or form. I didn't feel like he lost dramatically or anything like that. I just didn't feel like, you know, he won that. Tsimikas, been a lot of talk about him. Obviously, a lot of people speaking about this guy. Ultimately, he is the backup left back that we do have, you know, when Robbo's obviously not available, and he's probably going to be the backup left back. Do I think he should start in every game? No, of course not. When we come up against Manchester City, I don't expect him to start, because he will be one of the reasons why we probably lose that game. But in games like today, against Brentford, you saw what he is good at. He's so good at deliveries, and that's what he does. That's what he does bring to the table. Do you know what I mean? With someone like him, that's what he brings. He brings that kind of delivery, that quality. That he's probably got better quality on the ball than a Robertson, but as an overall package in that area, I don't know, man. I don't know. But today, if we're just talking about today, I felt he was alright. I felt he was calm. Yes, he had his moments where I was just like, Jesus Christ, to me. But as an overall, I felt like he was okay. Trent, again, I thought he was okay as well. Loves his Hollywood passes, as people like to say. At times it is one too many. I'm just like, brother, just get the flipping ball down and just play football. Like, can you do that? Sometimes I have to ask, can you actually just get the ball down and kick ball? but calm in his performance. Who have we got there in the middle? Endo. This is an interesting one. A lot of people, and I got the guys in the chat, because a lot of people are just talking about Endo, his performance. I saw a lot of people, and again, social media talking about Endo, and he's not good enough, and and he might not even be good enough. But in today's game, I didn't think he was even all that bad, if I'm being super honest with you. Yes, he's one of those kind of players. Yes, at times the game does pass him by. I definitely admit, at times the game will pass him by. In terms of just the quickness of the game itself, at moments he's like, are you really that like, can you keep up with what's kind of going on? But then he's kind of decent at bringing the ball forward, can pick out the right pass at the right times, when he kind of needs to do that. Overall, I thought he was like meaty to okay. Like that's probably the best way to put it. He was like meaty to okay. But I do think that people being kind of overly harsh, because when you talk about the next guy in Szoboszlai, I thought he was dead food. Like, I thought he was dead, like super dead. Not super dead actually. That's like when you play like a 3 or 2 out of 10. But he was dead. He was dead. Didn't offer me anything, both defensively or in an attacking sense. Absolutely nothing. But nobody ever spoke about him. And that was the bit that was what I found kind of confusing with the whole game, really. Like, I see bare people talking about Endo this and Endo that and Rete. I'm like, what about Szoboszlai? He's been just as dead as Endo. Like, there's no way that you looked at both of their matches and said, oh yeah, or both of the respective games and said, oh yeah, Szoboszlai he did nothing. He did nothing. Like, I'm not hearing anything about touches or passes or any of that crap. Like, now it's misplacing passes. All this running around that he does, all this running and getting bare kilometers under his belt and stuff. Yeah, see, all of that, miss me with that. Because in games like today, it just looks dumb. It actually just looks dumb. So yeah, I'm not even trying to feel. I wasn't feeling that performance at all. Gakpo, obviously in that position in that midfield, meaty to okay. I felt it's like he couldn't really get in the game as much as he probably wanted to. Then obviously second half having a few pot shots here and stuff like that. Nice little plays here with Diogo Jota, but yeah, overall there's like a meaty to okay performance from him. Diogo Jota, I felt that Diogo Jota and Mo Salah are very, very similar. I put out a tweet actually saying that earlier on today, because I feel like they're so similar. So similar. I felt like performance-wise in the game, I felt like they were both like kind of, again, meaty. Like, it was like just a meaty performance. They weren't dead or anything. They were just meaty. Didn't really do anything. Weren't really popping. Do you know what I mean? Like, there was nothing really going on with either of those two players. Both of them were on the score sheet today. Do you know what I mean? And same with Mo Salah. It's the same kind of analysis I'll give for him. Yeah, I just felt like he was just so meaty with the performance. But these kind of players, and Diogo Jota, I don't know where people rank him and rate him, but he can pop up with a goal when you need a goal, though. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, when you need a goal, like when I look at the Liverpool ranking order of like, I need a goal from these attackers, man. Who can I rely on? It's Mo and Jota, and the rest are like maybe then Gakpo and then Nunes and then Diaz. Like, I feel like that'll probably be my order of things. Like when I'm looking at, right, I need a goal and I need to go ASAP. Like I desperately, my house on the line kind of thing. This is the order I'll put them in. Yeah, I'll probably say I'll go Mo, Jota, Gakpo, Nunes, and then Diaz obviously coming in at last. He's just obviously not the prolific one out of all of them anyway, maybe just because of the nature of the position. But yeah, like he's just one of them kind of players, man. He's so good. And I see people saying he's underrated. I won't even say he's underrated. I feel like he's rated exactly how I feel like he's rated, like how he should be rated. I know he's not really underrated in any such kind of way. I think everyone knows he bags goals, but they also know he's kind of more time anonymous on a football pitch and doesn't really do much. And at times, but unless he's really on song and he's here, he's there, he's everywhere and then yeah, otherwise he's just like Mo, literally the exact same. Like, they're just one of them kind of guys. The only difference is Mo is a lot more consistent and is a lot more efficient when we need him to be. And he's been at Liverpool obviously a lot longer than Diogo Jota. And the guy up front who I thought was really, really good today, it pains me to say, but as the season kind of goes on, we're getting closer to the end of the season, and yeah, I don't think he's going to hit my target, or the target that we set before, about the 30 goals he needs to get this season. If he gets 30 goals, then I will be getting a Darwin Núñez top for the next season. But yeah, got himself an assist, 2 goals chalked off offside, rightly so. No arguments, no complaints there. Yeah, I felt like he was being a bit of a busybody today. Yeah. I felt like Núñez was the best attacker that we had. He really was. I won't even say in so much as making stuff happen, so to speak. He was just being a busybody, though. You know, him and Salah got a really good relationship, it seems. Like, you know, passing to each other, trying to find each other in the box. When one's in space, they're looking up. It almost reminds me of that Daniel Sturridge and Luis Suarez, you know, kind of relationship. Obviously, Sturridge and Núñez they're worlds apart in terms of like how efficient they are in their finishing, but in the partnership itself, it kind of reminds me of that. So yeah, long may it continue. And I thought, yeah, like I said, man, I thought Núñez was really, really good today. Really, really good. You know, probably unlucky he probably didn't get a goal. That is probably one thing I would look to say. He's getting a lot of assists, so the stats and GA merchants will be very happy with stuff like that. But I needed to start scoring some more goals. Do you know what I mean? Like, I need to, you know what I mean? It's great that Mo is the guy who's scoring the goals, but I kind of need you to, you know, start hitting the back of the net a bit more. Do you know what I mean? Those assists will look cute after a while, but you are a striker at the end of the day, so I am expecting you to hit the back of the net. But in terms of today, and today only, I thought that he was really, really good and a really good performer. Subs, I don't really care about them. In terms of my man of the match for the day, you know what? For the first time, I'll give it to Núñez. Man. I felt like he was really, really good today. I felt like he was good today. Could have given it to maybe VVD. Maybe, like, again, that's up for you guys, you know, to debate that amongst yourselves. You know, you can argue with a wolf all I care, but you know what I mean. I just feel like Núñez, he was in terms of his overall performance. Yeah, and the thing is, I like that. I do like that. And he, on another day, those 2 goals, they don't, like, you know, he stays on side and he gets those goals. And then it's a fantastic performance, 2 goals and assists on top of the actual performance, not just stat padding. Perfect. Do you know what I mean? And you know, it's just one of those kind of things. So be interesting to see how he comes back after the international break. Obviously, we've got Manchester City. After that, they are facing Chelsea as I speak at the time of this video. So going to tune into that and see how that kind of fares, how that kind of pans out. But it is looking like Liverpool will obviously be second in the Premier League heading into the next international break. So yeah, man, interesting times. We'll see what's up. Make sure you guys obviously stay tuned for my monthly review. Obviously, I don't think we've got another international break after this, so I'll try and schedule the next one after that. I'll try and schedule it sometime towards the end of the month, beginning of obviously next month. We'll see how the kind of days and everything kind of pan out, and then we'll obviously go from there. But yeah, Liverpool 3-0 victory. As I mentioned, overall performance, I'll probably give it a 7. I think that was a 7 type of, which is above average. Wasn't the greatest performance. Yeah, just wasn't the greatest performance. But obviously, I don't know if Jerry's gonna do like analysis and stuff like that. It'll be good to really get into, you know, the nooks and crannies of everything. But I just wanted to kind of, these match reactions now, just give you more like a base overview. I don't really want to use the stats and all that kind of, unless it's like glaring stats or something that's like, nah, you guys have got to see this, then yeah, fair enough. But overall, yeah, I don't really want to do that, man. I'd rather just, you know, get into it, and then we can, you know, kind of go from there. Apologies, you guys have had to hear me in my cold. Too bad. You know, we're here, we're back, we're live in flesh, live and direct. So yeah, man, make sure you guys obviously subscribe to the channel. Make sure you share, make sure you like the video, please. I can't stress that enough. Please make sure you're smashing that like. Make sure you head over to Jerry James Show. If he does do a tactical analysis, I should be there sometime this week, or next week, should I say. So yeah, make sure you guys obviously stay tuned for that. I'm G, match reaction is done and dusted, and we are out.